Hello there. In this video, we're going to talk about factoring differences of cubes or sums of cubes. Now, for both of these problems, we need formulas here. These formulas are not given to you on the regions, but you are expected to know them. So here they are. If you have a sum of cubes, here's how you factor it. And if you have a difference of cubes, here's how you factor it. So this first example here is a difference of cubes. So what we're going to do is we're going to assign this first part of it as x, and as x to the third, and the second part as y to the third. And we're going to do that because we know this is a perfect cube, and this is a perfect cube. Perfect cube means that there was something that was cubed to make this, right? So if this is x to the third, what did I cube to make that? Well, if b to the third is x to the third, then regular b is regular x. And what did we cube to get that? This was going to be a little harder to get. What times what is 64? The answer to that is 4. And then what times what is a to the third? The answer to that is a. So when you do this, you have to figure out what x to the third is and y to the third is, so you just assign them. You need to figure out what x and y is by cube rooting both of these. But you also need to figure out what x squared and y squared is. And to do that, we just square that. So b squared and 4a squared is 16a. So to do this, you need to know all three of those, what x is, what x squared is, and we assign that as x to the third. Same thing with y. We need to know what y is, what y to the second is, and what y to the third is, which we assign. And now that we have all this information, now we just plug it all into this formula. This formula is the correct one because it has a minus and a minus. So now we just write all of this stuff, that wherever we see an x, we're going to put b. Wherever we see a y, we're going to put 4a. Wherever we see an x squared, we're going to put b squared. And wherever we see a y squared, we're going to put 16a squared. So the answer to this one would be x, which is b, y, which is 4a, x squared, which we found to be e squared. xy means we need to put both of these next to each other and multiply them, so 4ab. And y squared is 16a squared. So that is the answer to this question. I know that doesn't look like it's factored. It doesn't look any simpler, but it is simpler. There we go. Let me double check my answer key. B minus 4a, b squared plus 4b, 16a squared. Great. We have one more example to do. How am I doing? Yeah. Factor completely. This is a sum of cubes. So it's the same process, but we're going to use this blue formula instead. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to assign this as x to the third, and I'm going to assign this as y to the third. When I do that, I need to make sure that what I'm assigning is actually a perfect cube. That is a perfect cube because the the cube root of 125 is 5, and the cube root of 64 into the third would be 4a, just like the last one, right? The cube root of 64 is 4, and the cube root of n to the third is n, getting the right letter. All right, and then that would mean x squared is 5 squared, which is 25, and y squared is equal to that squared, which is 16n squared. So now, just like the last one, we're just going to plug all this into this blue equation. So x plus y is going to be 5 plus 4n, right? X is 5, y is 4n. X squared is 25. xy means we multiply both of those, so 5 times 4n is 20n. And plus y squared is 16n squared. And that is the answer to that one. And there you go. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.